speaking of masks. Play did you see that? Did you see what Fauci had to say?
I think I did.
Yeah. Boys, if I may, play clip number one.
There is a perception out there by many, how many I don't know, that they don't work and that the data concludes that they didn't work in the first go-round. Respond to that on masks.
Yeah, well, that's not so. I mean, when you're talking about at the population level, that the data are less strong than knowing that if you look on a situation as an individual protecting themselves or protecting them from spreading it, there's no doubt that masks work. Different studies give different percentages of advantage of wearing it, but there's no doubt that the weight of the studies, and there have been many studies, indicate the benefit of wearing masks.
There have been also studies that say they don't work. What are we going to talk about, Anthony? He kind of looks jaundiced.
This motherfucker is so retarded.
All right. So we've dropped a few F-bombs. We've said faggoty ass, and we have now used the word retarded. All the things that you stereotype this show into being, trust me, we are.
We are. No, I'm sorry. The R word is warranted for this. Mm-hmm. His excuse is so retarded. So there have been studies that have shown that they do work, but also studies that have shown that they don't work. But those studies don't take into account use on the individual level. Huh? That doesn't make any f***ing sense.
Right.
But there he is on CNN saying it.
God, I've missed you.
This guy is the greatest con man in American history.
In history.
I stand by that.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, this guy's been pulling the wool over Americans' eyes since 70s. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's insane. Mm-hmm. And he'll do anything. The level of narcissism that it requires, that you want to remain in the public eye and to try to stay relevant, that you're willing to lie to people and give zero regard for human life. Zero regard, because again, you're literally ruining lives. This is what I've been saying for a week now. And that is, in private conversations with others, I said, America cannot survive another shutdown.
No. I'm not even sure if we can survive without the shutdown.
Well, I think the damage is done for sure. Yeah. I mean, just look at little simple things. We all like living in a first world country. Mm-hmm. We're a little spoiled by that. We're a little privileged by that. Mm-hmm. When CJ and I finally did settle on a restaurant and we walked in with our shoulders bowed up and our chest poked out and our lips, pouting a little bit, to a place called the Stand, which is a hamburger place that has salads. Mm-hmm. I didn't want a hamburger, by the way. But she made that choice, and I went with it because at that point I was like, okay, we can break up or go eat a freaking hamburger. Ordered the food. And by the way, don't go to restaurants that have aluminum chairs. Just something about it. Don't like, if they didn't take any more time to care about their furniture and decor in the place, they don't care about your food either. So we go in there. It takes an hour.
No.
Hour for a hamburger and the salad was like a garden. Like it was like this. I was like, you're going to eat an eighth of that. It took an hour.
Wow.
And I sat there and I go, now we're already tense. And I'm sitting there going, and I kept going, America will not survive another shutdown. You know why? Because I'm looking back there. They're lazy. They're entitled. Mm-hmm. They're waiting on their whatever check to come in. They've been, everything is done like that to a screen. They're sitting around waiting on somebody else to do the work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just in the service industry alone, ruined.
Oh, for sure.
You give people another opportunity to sit at home on their asses with their thumb in the hole and just collect checks for doing nothing, and I promise you, America won't survive.
Yep.
The workforce is depleted. It's dead. And you know what? The federal government, they're perfectly okay with that because they want to run the show anyway. Mm-hmm. They want to run the show anyway, Sarah. That's the deal. So can't survive.
Yeah.
Can't make it.
I agree. And that was really like the tipping point of the service industry was the COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
It was a completely different scene when people started emerging again.
Well, and again, those of you who want to push back on me on that, listen, you remember the whole $15 minimum wage thing? By and large, that was going to go to people that were working in the fast food restaurants. And those people in the fast food restaurants, those aren't career choices. Like, unless you're chasing an upper management deal with McDonald's, you work in the drive-thru, that's typically not. It's not supposed to be a career choice for us to reward you on all that stuff. So So I'm just saying, those type of jobs tend to be with people who are the lowest bar in terms of their effort and output that they're willing to put into something. They're not really persevering in the entrepreneurial world to make something out of themselves at that stage in life. So we were already trying to reward that with a higher minimum wage. We're rewarding it by letting them stay at home and not pursue anything. And it's just going to totally destroy a culture that's already in shambles.